my dear friends. It's definitely a great honor to be awarded such a prestigious oration, and I the work that has been done in past few years and where we stand as of now. Let's have a look. What has changed? What's happening? And where are we heading? Absolute pleasure, as I mentioned. And as I deliberate on the subject, new workplace norms, while I was working on this project, and still there's a lot more to be done, which I'm still trying to gather information and also work on ground and get some crucial data points. I find that there's so much and enormous, because what has happened is unprecedented. World has not seen this ever before, and may would not see this in times and years to come. I see that a lot of change has happened, and as I proceed to share the details which I gathered and the work that I was doing and the project that I continue to work upon, let's have a quick look. Most heard lines lately, and it's all related to workplace, the norms and new things which are coming up, the new normal, social distancing, mask and sanitizer. I was at Connaught Place few days back and saw this SMS thing. There are banners all across Connaught Place and across Delhi saying SMS, social distancing, mask and sanitizer. Quite catchy to disseminate the message. Work from home, we have been hearing a lot in last almost a year now. WFH has become a notion now. Every corner of the globe. To the people who are actually watching this online, they would agree what all they have gone through since this long gestation period of work from home. We definitely take work from home, we take break, but not this long. And the punchline, you're on mute, please unmute, you're not audible, am I audible, can you see my screen, I have some network challenge, your voice is breaking, we can't hear you. The next normal, that's another line, the next normal. The new normal is definitely is the one, but now it is coming up as the next normal. And then the last but not the least one on screen is work, life and mental health. Dr. Ashish Vijay Jain and many of my speakers earlier today and who have already given the orations, they've spoken a lot about work, life and mental health. And while I was searching and I was working and I was talking to people, I could see and gather some pictures and some details which I'll be sharing in my next slides. And as you can see on the right hand side, the largest picture on the screen is from our yesterday's conference, and this depicts what I have just mentioned, the most heard lines lately. We are practicing distancing, and then we are definitely changing the work environment around us. Let's have a look. We say anything, all entire public sector and the private sector who are into who have employees working for them, there have been unprecedented decline in employment for sure, but then where industries have stood and people have been working, they have probably gone every day on this website. Apart from the details that are mentioned on the website, I'm just touching upon the one which I've highlighted with an arrow. SOP on preventive measures to contain spread of COVID-19 in offices, which is part of my subject right now. Workplace and new workplace norms. As of 13th of February, as late as 13th of February or 14th of February, there were a lot of news in media that the guideline has been published, SOP has been published for industry to follow for new workplace norms. We'll not go into these details. We would have definitely read. The reason of capturing the important ones here, the three important point was to showcase that ministry has been quite upfront in updating the portal, and as just mentioned by Dr. Channa, that maybe the information that I'm sharing will be obsolete in another an hour or two. The things are evolving at such a pace. Let's see if new guidelines are not formed immediately, maybe after I'm delivering this, and tomorrow some new guidelines are in place because of the dynamics of the situation currently. The guideline states if there are 1 or 2 COVID cases reported at a workplace, the disinfection procedure will be limited to places, areas occupied and visited by the patient in past 48 hours. And work can be resumed after disinfection as per late protocol. The ministry further elaborates that these measures need to be observed by all employees and visited at all times. What has happened that we have gone complacent, and we must admit that we have gone complacent. And the only reason is probably the hope that we have seen in the vaccine, or probably the immunity has gone up and we are good. With a lot of Ayurvedic and herbal things that Indians consume, they must be thinking their immunities have gone up. But I think we should all not go complacent and maintain the 6 feet phenomena still. Apply face mask for sure and frequent hand wash. The generic preventive measures, and there were detailed ones as well. On the right hand side of the screen you can see the SOP. I mean, definitely I have pasted the document here in case anybody would like to refer to. They will have the access to Ministry of Health, and many of us would have already access to it. Not getting into the details of these generic preventive measures, which are 7 lined out 7 by ministry, but 2 gaj ki duri, mask hai zaruri has become the punchline, and this has transformed to our workplaces as well. Whenever we are in webinars as well, at times we have put on our mask because people are observing, and maybe we are being noticed, and also just to be quite cautious because at times we are with other people as well in the room who are attending that webinar. So I mean, ministry has gone down into so much of detail that practice frequent hand washing with soap for at least 40-60 seconds. We have heard about 20 seconds, and then now it has gone 40-60 seconds. Tell me, if anybody here in this room or listening this oration right now online washes his hand for 60 seconds, I don't think so, and I'm too sure of it. Nobody would be washing hand for 60 seconds. 20. Yes. So now practice frequent hand washing with soap for at least. That's what I'm saying, Dr. Gajendra, that by the time I disseminate this information, maybe tomorrow something more will come up. So this is as of 13th of February. Media, it was all across the media, across the country and globe, that ministry has come up with the guideline. So, and that's the phenomena we are in right now, and we are trying to cope up with it. The new normal, touchless offices in the post-pandemic world. My topic definitely is workplace norms, and this is going to be the norm. 2 pictures I have shared. 1, phone application to control room temperature. As soon as you enter in your cabin, very soon you will be having those applications on your phone that your ACs are controlled by your application itself. You don't have to switch on and off and use the remote. And second one is definitely opening the window blinds. Despite so much of constraint, we always will need fresh air for sure. But yes, that is becoming a little bit of remote possibility, open spaces, open office spaces right now. And we are going to be clustered in terms to contain the virus spread. And let's see what 4 steps are there to reimagine work and workplace and reconstruct how work is done. Decide people to work or work to people. So as of now, we are bringing work to people. Dr. Ashish Vijayan emphasized upon the same, that about the mental health and the stress that employees are facing. And that's how probably we are working right now, bringing work to people. My organization has 95,000 employees across the globe. Danaher Corporation, one of the largest in the world in terms of life sciences, diagnostics and environmental. And I have never seen any information coming from my office regarding I have to move out. No, you don't have to. Although shares have gone up significantly, probably because we are in health and medical domain, and that's why, but then we were practicing these norms stringently. Now what McKinsey says, 80% of people question report that they enjoy working from home. 41% say that they are more productive than they had been before 20, and 28% that they are as productive. So can you imagine? I mean, I also, for that matter, enjoy working from home. I'm with my family, with my daughter at times, and then I have seen that productivity has never gone down. We have been doing what we were doing when we are not going out. When we are, when we are moving, we are doing a lot of meetings. Definitely, few things are constrained, but then yes, we have been able to take the business up. Things have been moving. We have been working, and that has come up in this survey as well. You can definitely have the full extract of the survey whenever you feel like, and then many organizations think they can access new pools for talent with fewer locational constraints, adopt innovative processes to boost productivity, create an even stronger culture, and significantly reduce real estate cost. We all would agree we have not traveled, and because of that, the logistics and the travel cost of the corporations, the largest corporation of the world, has reduced significantly. And if at all they were in good services, they have done much better commercially. Though pandemic has been really bad, a lot of people have suffered, millions of them. But then yes, with altered work norm practices, we have seen some positive developments as well. Redesign the workplace to support organizational priorities and resize the footprint creatively. That's going to the way forward. What does World Economic Forum say? So I was looking at some data, and I was trying to see that how things have been shaping up. A very renowned body lately, quite a lot in picture because of the significant contribution that World Economic Forum is making for betterment of life of a lot of people. Businesses should treat well-being as a tangible skill, a critical business input, and a measurable outcome. So you see, as of Jan 13, 2021, the priority for workplaces in the new normal will be well-being. Nobody else would agree more than Dr. Ashish Vijay Jain, whose entire oration was on the subject. Forward-thinking companies will embrace well-being as an index of learnable actions and daily behavior. But talking about well-being and backing it with action, the same thing, how are you, making a simple phone call. Leaders can eliminate a work culture that implies work should come before personal needs. Well-being is a skill that we can all learn and model. And that goes with current scenario. We definitely have been trying to keep ourselves well as working. That has been the norm. A better future is possible when business helps build the skills for well-being. World Economic Forum further says that moving forward, managers must be equipped to create a safe space for open conversations. I have seen today, a lot of my previous speakers have mentioned about how managers should be behaving with their employees, with their colleagues, and how they should be changing their thoughts. Based on once again a recent McKinsey survey, only 30% of employees say they feel comfortable talking to their manager about their mental health. So, I mean, those are some real facts that are coming out in front of us during this pandemic. Other day I was hearing Mrs. Menka Gandhi, and she mentioned that this COVID has brought meanest of the meanest mindset, shown faces of meanest mindset during this COVID time. She was deliberating somewhere, and we heard that. And probably we should see that we have to be empathic to our colleagues. We have to be with them, and then we have to be connected with their well-being. And it cannot be achieved without creating workplaces that empower employees to prioritize themselves and talk about their overall well-being, specifically their mental health, as easily as they might discuss a broken arm. Employees should invest in training to equip their workforce with the skills, language, and norms needed to support these conversations. And this is what is happening right now. We would have undergone probably 40 or 50 trainings in last 1 year online during this time. Definitely we do those trainings when we are working physically in presence one-to-one as well, but then lately the numbers have gone up just to support our mental faculties and just to support that we are there for you. Not a lot of skill upliftment has happened, and I've practically witnessed it in my organization. Paradigm shift towards well-being of employees' mental health, not touching upon it anymore. We have discussed a lot about it, and we have heard, but then yes, this is going to be the center point moving forward. Those of you who have known Davos Agenda 2021. If you look at the screen, the image on the right hand side, and I think it's readable, the fourth image in first line, society and future of work, it has become an agenda, and that too in Davos agenda, and then definitely it is being taken up by UN as well. There were, so it's Davos. I mean, leaders, global leaders come across, and top shots of the world of various organizations are part of this agenda, and they're deliberated here, and they say 9 things: augmented reality workstations, social distance office, simple solutions, how to keep desks clean, as well as obvious additions such as more hand sanitizers, some deceptively simple changes could help. Closed plan, office fashion for decades has included open plan working, but could COVID-19 reverse this mega trend, leading to a closed plan future, as I just mentioned? More signs, we see a lot of signages now. I went to Haldiram that day, and then there was like huge board of signages there. I thought of clicking a picture, and then I almost clicked, and the guy came up, sir, pictures allowed nahi hai. I said, okay, fine. But then as you move out, you see so many signages now. You all have spent a lot of money on this, and we are making those changes. Those are all workplace norms that we are heading to. Contactless technology, as I just mentioned. Rebuild your infrastructure, fresh air. Though the spaces would be closed, but then there has to be some fresh air as well. How contradictory, but then this has to be done. This is mandatory for work culture. Greetings. So if you read the last one, earlier this year, billboards in Beijing promoted clasping one's own hand. The UAE and Qatar asked citizens to avoid nose-to-nose greetings. You all would have noticed, Middle East does these nose-to-nose greetings, and the French government frowned on greetings with a kiss. So we are doing away with a lot of social behaviors just to manage and step into a new era. As Dr. Chanda mentioned, it is there to stay. Expect more safe distancing greetings to evolve in an office near you soon. So that's from Davos agenda, and it has gone. It is being taken up at the highest level. This is from May 20, and there have been some updates as well. We come to the global forum now. Definitely, Ministry of Health keeps publishing on routine, and what CDC says, not touching too much in detail, but if you see the circle part, it's everywhere. Those 3 things, SMS, as it says. And then during the COVID-19 pandemic, office building employers, owners and managers, and operations specialists can take the following step to create safe and healthy workplace for workers' client. That's what CDC displays, and these are the pointers, the key pointers. You can protect your staff and others, slow spread, educate employees and supervisors about steps they can take to protect themselves, develop special considerations for elevators and escalators. And there are multiple points under these. I have taken the few headlines, and while I was discussing with people and working on the project, these are the key things that has come out. Take action to maintain a healthy work environment for your employees. And there is a whole lot of information available on CDC. I tried clicking on a couple of links, but then every link is so enormous, contains so much of information. So I have taken a picture of the entire page and pasted it here to share that how things are evolving every day and every minute when we see the recommendation and guidelines come from all across the globe: CDC, NIOSH, OSHA, AIHA, ASHRAE, and so on and so forth. International Labour Organization pitches in safe return to work, guide for employers on COVID-19 prevention, and they have detailed outlay how you have to step in. And if you see Ministry of Health guideline as well, it's a 5-6 pager document, and it mentions everything about how you have to work, how people have to move, the routes. I mean, we all have seen that's happening, but it's just that latest guideline, if somebody has missed, is on 13th of February that has been published, and we all have to follow that. It's ministry guideline. ILO has further given a complete document on safe return to work, and I think we all must refer to the document as and when needed. All the organizations across the globe are working towards making workplaces better, and new workplace norms are ever emerging. I am doing a large survey, and I'll be coming up with more details when given a chance at some other opportunity, to present those findings from my survey that I'm taking up with the organization and employees. This is all that I wanted to share related to the new developments and the workplace norms. I have not covered too much on WHO aspect. We all keep getting a lot of information from WHO bulletins, so I have not captured it here because it will be quite repetitive, so I've skipped that. But then yes, we all know that WHO is the primary body taking it ahead. Quotes on India's new normal in the state post-COVID. Let's just quickly read this. The new normal will be about work-life integration more than work-life balance. Shilpa Vaid, Prion Group. The new normal isn't necessarily a business world without working in an office. It's just a world here of we focus on work rather than office space. Bhavin Turakhia from Flock. IT services company will definitely have a new normal of a hybrid workplace. We have been hearing about hybrid since morning. Dr. Panda also emphasized. Anant Maheshwari from Microsoft India. The 5 C's of culture creation, communication, coherence, consistency, commitment, and creativity are often associated not just with organizational well-being, but also personal wellness. Saundarya Rajesh, Avatar Career Creators. And the last one, with challenges of cost consideration and complexities of operating globally. In today's environment, as mentioned by Dr. Channa, about commercial aspects as well, reinventing talent mobility programs is imperative in the future agenda post-crisis. Padma Ramnathan from Mercer. This is all that I wanted to share. Thank you so much.